Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Thought I'd come in here early and all we got. Wow, full house. We have a full house here. All right, we've got Pam, we've got Jeremy, we got Tom, we got Annalise, Desiree. Who else is in here? I know we got more than that. Everybody come on in and say hello. Hi, Brenda. How are you doing? So, how was everybody's holiday? Was it fulfilling and enjoyable? And you didn't look at the scales once, did you? I told you not to. Hi, Melinda. Yeah, I know. I can't help the ads. I see you, Anna. How are you? Yeah, you'll get that every once in a while, Elise. Good. Did they get everything taken care of for you? I hope so. I've been praying for you. Freezing there? Well, we got the air conditioners going. Last night we had heat. This morning we had AC. We're in that in between, hot, cold type thing. Right now we've got cloudy skies and it looks like it's going to pour down rain anytime soon. That's going to happen. It's got to get caught up, Desiree. We got the new satellite. Man, this thing is whizzing. YouTube doesn't like it at all. Awesome, Brenda. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Hi, Angel. Awesome, Carmen. I'm glad you made it back. Hi, Carol. Yes, Happy New Year to everyone. Now, y'all didn't make resolutions this year of losing weight or anything like that because if you make that resolution, it's not going to happen. Hi, Brenda. My New Year's resolution was to make it through the year healthier than I was last year, happier than I was last year, and more centered than I was last year. By the way, I have been losing weight. My clothes are starting to hang on me. I've lost 15 pounds, a total of 15 pounds. And I'm feeling better. I just, I don't have, you know, all I've got to get off yet, but I'll get there. At this rate, I'll get there. I decided to change my eating habits. Well, if you tatted on New Year's Day, you will tat more this year. Well, I cut out carbs and that really dropped weight. And now we're doing a keto, low sodium, no sugar diet. And the entire time that I was off from the classes, my blood pressure was normal, absolutely normal. In fact, I went a whole day without medication. I took it that morning and that was it. And I take that stuff every 4 hours. And I was so busy, I forgot. And at night, I got ready to go down. I was like, Wait a minute, why haven't I been sleepy today? And it's because I didn't take any med that's what my blood pressure medicine does to me, it makes me off, and, I was stress free. I was in my free zone. I stress over things, don't even know I'm stressing, and that's what causes my hypertension. And I was in my stress free zone because I was working on different things and doing mindless crafting, and that is the best therapy you can get. And I was so relaxed, so comfortable. I was in my element, and it was like, "Whoa." And that happened several times. So, yeah, we now know how to fix the blood pressure problem, get the weight off, that is priority 1. Try to not stress so much over things. I don't stress like most people. You know, most people, they have a reason to stress. Not me. "Oh, we got a commercial on my side, I gotta wait till I come back. Isn't that nice?" There we go. I'm back. So, but yeah, I stress over things and don't even know I'm stressing. But what I'm stressing over isn't really worth stressing over, and I don't understand where it's coming from. So, it's something I gotta work on. My mind constantly works. It never shuts down. I'm guilty as and the more it works, the more I stress. So, mindless crafting is healthy for you. Trust me. That's what I've been doing is some mindless crafting, and I made up my mind I was gonna sit there and just take it one day at a time, let things happen the way they happen, and lay it to the side. No use in worrying over spilt milk at my age. My kids are grown. Hi, Janella. You having a good New Year's? How many of y'all watched that new crystal ball drop in New York? How much do they spend on those Waterford crystal balls? Waterford crystal is expensive. I mean, just a tiny little glass would cost you arms and legs and toes and first and last forms. They made a whole big ball out of this stuff. Great, great. We watched it, but I had a hard time staying awake New Year's. Uh, we had, uh, we had a good dinner. My husband's been doing a lot of cooking, and we had a really good dinner. And when I get my tummy full, man, I'm ready for a night ready for night night. Plus 12 o'clock, it's, like, way past my bedtime. So, awesome. Hi, Naomi. We had a pretty good sized class. We'll be getting some more in. So, anybody got any questions for me? I will say for those of you that don't know, I'm sitting here in the chair with a boot on. I go to an orthopedic on the 19th. I woke up, I couldn't put my foot on the floor. It hurt that bad, and it was black and blue. Don't ask me what happened. I went to bed. That's all I did. And so I go to the doctor's IRD, and well, I went to the ER basically, and, got a dose of nitro to go along with the doctor X-rays and stuff. I broke my 2 smallest toes back when we sold our sticks and bricks and everything we had to go on the road in the RV. Hi, Silver. And I just taped it up. They don't set your toes. So I taped it up, put an ace bandage on the foot, went on my merry way, did my thing, hobbled off to Texas, waiting on the rig, and, we got the rig and just went on. I never give it a thought. Apparently, I did not only break the toes, I crushed the toes. Now, I got all these silly little bone fragments running around in my foot. and they are just having a field day. Hi, Tanya. So they're just running around on my foot and they're making havoc. So they sending me to an orthopedic to see if I need to get surgery to have the fragments removed or if they're gonna re-break the toes and set everything. I don't know what they're gonna do, but we'll find out. So I've lived with it now for 6 years. I can live with it a little bit longer. But the boot is driving me crazy. It's got a air pump thing. You gotta pump up the boot so it stabilizes everything. And every time I walk, it goes squish, squish, squish. It's the weirdest sound. And Mia thinks it's a toy. And she's watching me wear this toy that she should play with. You know, you've seen the doggy toys. It's got that plastic stuff in it. That's what it sounds like. So she thinks I'm walking with a toy on my foot. Well, every time I take my boot off, she's over there to steal the sock. She makes off with my sock. So yeah, yeah, like a shoe full of water. It's hilarious. Sager. Hi, Deborah. I can imagine, Maria. I can imagine. So I got some changes we're going to do this year, but it's going to be fun changes. We have managed to get so many beginners that I'm just thoroughly excited with it. We've got new up and coming tatters. And I thought, you guys, you're sort of kind of beginners. We're all beginners. We all learn something new every day in the tatting world. So, given that, I have a list that was in the files of everything that we're supposed to teach in these classes. And it's part of Georgia's stuff. It was in the files that Georgia had. And I looked at it, and it's sectioned off into beginner, intermediate, advanced, you know, different levels. So, what I thought we could do, and see if y'all like the idea, because I've got this set up, we can do it in 12 weeks. All right. And we can do all the techniques, and in 12 weeks, you can go from a very beginner to an advanced pattern if we do it this way. Okay. Now, classes run from right after Tat Days, whatever day the Tat Days weekend is. When we come back the week after that, classes start. Well, then we run all the way through till May, sometimes June, depending again on Tat Days dates. All right. Then we have 3 sessions over the summer, and there's surprise sessions. Um, Nothing in particular. It's a get together to touch on base, do a couple of patterns, play, have fun, just chit chat. And we call it a tat and chat. And I think we need to get back to that rhythm. Well, I teach 2 classes a week. Don't mind teaching 2 classes a week. But the way I want to do it is I want to do Tuesday's class. We work on the techniques because we've got a project we're going to do with these techniques. Okay, project y'all been waiting for. Then on Thursday's class, we're just going to do a walkthrough of the pattern. Okay, because I have got permission for some beautiful patterns to teach in classes. So, with that said, what do y'all think about that? Because we can always take longer than the 12 weeks. If we don't get through it in one class, we can always carry it over to the next week. But it gives you a full week to work on the project. Okay. And as it grows, you have more time to finish. So y'all like that. All right. If y'all are in, then we'll do it. Everybody give me a thumbs up if that's the way we're going. I think it will explain so much how tatting works. Now, the next thing, every class on Tuesday, I will show both the needle version and the shuttle version for each step we do. So if you're a needle tatter, I played, uh, you can learn a lot. Okay. If you're a shuttle tatter, it gives you the opportunity to play with the needle because, as I've said many, many times, there is a place for needle and there's always a place for shuttle. Sometimes needle doesn't always work for shuttle techniques, and I will tell you that it won't. If I say that a specific technique is not a great technique to do in needle because it's cumbersome to try to even do it, I will say so. If it's destroying your thread, I will say don't do that because thread is expensive. I mean, for the price of a ball of thread these days, you could buy a dozen eggs. You go down and make brass tacks. So we want to keep the pocketbook full, the heart filled, and the hands busy. Okay? So with that, I will tell you if it's a cost-effective opportunity to use needle or not. We've got people that count every last stitch to find out how much thread they need in order to tat up something. They are that conscientious. It's because they are on a very tight, limited budget. And I want to play into that. So I want to show you all how to figure that out. Okay. And then we go from there. But for today, it's a lot of fun. Okay. Because we're going to start our project today. So with that said, y'all got any questions? Any questions at all? Looks like everybody's on board. I have my new coffee cup. I got that. And so I could use it in here. Sometimes you forget you're awesome. So this is your reminder. So you all are awesome. And you have been reminded. All right. That's what we'll do. Because I got some stuff I'm going to show you today. I dug it out, the cobwebs. Got it out, the cobwebs. I want to I want to tell you all another thing. Let me get all my documents here. All right. First of all, I want to thank Nanetta and Julianne Bell for your donations. They are much appreciated, and every does count. With those donations, we have reached $700 of our goal of 1781 to pay for the website, the StreamYard, so I can stream to y'all and not have a bunch of problems, and the email program, software, everything we use to put the classes on. We have made a total with the commercial payout $700 towards our goal. We only have 1,081 to reach before September. That's plenty of time. There's many ways. Hi, Teresa. Many ways you all can donate. You can donate through PayPal. My husband is looking into some other apps we can use for those of you that don't like PayPal. We can use super chats. There's a little dollar sign down below. That's for your super chats, super thanks, super stickers, all the above. You can donate through there. Every penny counts. It doesn't matter how much or how little it counts, and it does help. $700. Thank you all very much. It couldn't have been done without you, okay? So, with that said, that is an awesome, awesome feat to get through. It is easy, and you can go through our website. Hi, Derbie. You can go through our website and click on the link to PayPal, and it pops up with a box, and you just fill in what you wanna do. And I don't ask you to say do it as friends and family or anything because they take out the fees and stuff, and I don't have to pay them later. So, that's just PayPal. They like getting money off. Now, for you new students, I do have an Amazon account, so when I show things in class, um, you can go there and you can get them. That does apply towards the funding on the website and everything. Everything I do that collects money goes straight into the bank account for the classes. The classes has its own bank account, okay? So everything pays from there. Now, one of the things that you might be interested in getting is one of these books. This is a jewelry book for traveling, and it comes with these little I'll show you the zippy bags. See these little plastic zippy bags here? They're big, and they got small ones too. Oh, I'm gonna show you, Elise. Don't worry about it. Um, they come with those little plastic, but it works as a good sample book. It works as a good information book on technique, on how many threads does it take per type of thread you're using, how many stitches does it take per inch. So you can calculate how much thread you're going to need for a project. Okay. So if you know how many stitches you have in an inch, okay, and you've got a ring that has 15 stitches and you're using, say, coordinate special size 20, then it's 15 stitches per ring. Okay. So you count rings in the project. Calculate that, multiply it, there's your ring quota. How many chains? Well, the chains vary in sizes. You count up how much is in each different size chain. You know it's 15 stitches per inch. Same deal. 15 times how many different size chains you've got that equal 15 stitches, and you got it. Okay. So if you've got say you've got a chain that's 15 stitches, and then you got one that's 20. You add those together, you're still gonna use 2 inches. Reason? Because you've got pieces that's gonna come out of that, your tie-offs are gonna come out of that, your tail ends are gonna come out of that. So this is a way for you to carry that, okay, and cover your bases. Then you'll probably end up with maybe 3 inches at the end of your project. Make a flower and call it a day. So you haven't lost anything, alright? So you can get you one of these, and like I say, you can put your samples in here of all the things you've made. This has got sizes of thread, okay? And I did both my rings and chains, okay? And anything else I do, I haven't worked on it in a while because I've been busy teaching. But you get all this stuff, and this is stuff we've got in the files. I'll get it out to you guys so you can do your sample book. And this tells you what it should look like. All right. Once you do that, guess what? Your sample book has the answers for all your techniques you want to try. Okay. So it's a good tool to have. It's not necessary. Thank you, Elise. Thank you so much. It's not necessary that you buy this. You can make it out of a used binder, a notepad, one of these little notepads. You can do whatever you want. You just get you some double bad tape, you know, buy that stuff, that's roll like you do regular Scotch tape, and you just double back stick it to it. You can glue it even. Just make your notes so you know what you've done. All right. You don't want to forget what you've done. You want to remember everything. And that's a good way to remember things because as we age, memory is the first thing. I mean, I used to do roll call with my kids in my 20s. So I figured by now with grandkids and my kids, I need a big roll call. So that said, I'm going to show you something else. This was my first dolly ever. You know what this is? This is just rings and chains. Okay. Everybody wants my patterns. Okay. There's no pattern. What I did is I took what I learned in each class and it went on dolly. It went on around. By the time you step out to the other rounds where you've learned other techniques that are more technical and the dolly gets bigger, you learn that technique by the time you get back around. You've got it pretty well stuck in your head. So you know what it is. Okay. Now, this is not pretty tatting. I've got blips of color. Okay. My tension is bad. It's horrible. Okay. But this is my first work. You're going to have that problem too. Expect it. Don't be upset by it. Learn from it. And that's what we're going to do today. We are going to work on our own doilies of progress. And that's what this is. It's a doily of progress. I graduated to the second doily because I wanted to get these little motifs in there. And I couldn't get the motifs in there on the first doily. So I just graduated to a second one. And you can do that too. Okay. If you're learning something, you want to try it for the first time and it's not going to fit, go ahead, start another one. All you're doing is teaching yourself how to do it correctly and how not to do it wrongly. Okay. And that's all tatting is learning. Every day we learn. Most of our tatting is done by muscle memory. You get it down on muscle memory with one of these, you're going places. Okay? Because the minute you see it, it's going to say, okay, I remember this. I remember how it's done. It'll come back to you. Some of the techniques we do, they're limited on when they're used. And you need something to remind yourself. That's where the little tatting journal comes in, the little book that gives us all our 411 on these techniques and our tatting sample. Okay. So with that said, next thing I'm going to show you, this is the list of what we got to learn according to Georgia. You see how it's divided up. Okay. That's what we're going to learn. And that's what's going on our project. Okay. So for today, what we're going to learn, I got to get my checklist here. This is my list. It's got my hand smacked all over it. We're going to do rings, chains, a basic picot, a join, and continuous thread method. Yes, join the Facebook group, Monica. Yes, please do. We have designers in there. If you get stumped, they will help you. Okay, we got wonderful people in there. So yes, do join the Facebook group. Now, continuous thread method is CTM. That's an abbreviation for it. I will discuss abbreviations as we go through this. But every class, you bring your shuttle and needles. Okay? You bring your thread, you size 10 or 20, either one. Scissors, a crochet hook if you need one, picot gauges, paper and pencil, and beads if we're going to do beads that day. Yeah, you're going to get beads on your project. That's in here. We're going to learn beads. So, get ready for some fun. I told you, it's gonna be a blast. Well, I got a I listed for today, low commercial. I usually do say low. Man, they're slamming us. We haven't been on in a while. Okay, now I'm gonna take the camera downstairs, okay, and we're gonna get into this. Now, there was a student that joined that wants to learn ANCAR. Before we learn ANCARs, folks, we gotta learn this basic stuff, okay? We gotta get it out of the way. You're never going to understand ANCARs unless you learn the basics, alright? So that's what we're doing today. We're starting off from scratch. We're walking our way through. At the end of the 12 weeks, we're gonna take a little break. Then we'll come back, okay? Desiree, I cannot release the list. I have to keep it under wraps because it's part of Georgia, and what's I can't release what she doesn't give me permission to release, and that was in one of the do not use sheets, okay? I wish I could, but I can't. So that's where we're at. But trust me, you are gonna learn it all. It's the only way with teaching 2 classes, and both of you all coming to both classes, it's the only way I can see that everybody gets a thorough education without distraction, okay? Now, classes start 3:00, 2:45 for chit chat and playing around and doing our thing, but 3:00 we start. 4:00, if we're still going, we can go to 4:30 if need be. But we're gonna do everything on that list for that day. Anything I do not have a video on, any technique, I will get a video up for you on the channel. Now, the videos that were Georgia's, I've changed the title on it. We were having problems with people stealing our videos. I'm gonna put it out there. They were listing the videos on their YouTube channel, monetizing them, and making money out. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. You don't know how many people I've had to report over that. So I changed it back over to beginning tatting, ones that were Georgia's, beginning tatting, intermediate, and advanced needle tatting. So I dropped Georgia's name off the front end. I own those videos. Those do not belong to Georgia. Okay. So I took that out, took Georgia's name off of those videos on just the tag name for the YouTube channel. Okay. Uh, it's still inside the video. Okay. But the main, when you open it up, it's going to say beginning, intermediate, shuttle needle, whatever. And just remember, they're still the videos, the same video, but they've got students joining those videos and coming straight here to the classes. It's like awesome, 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 awesome. So I'm gonna drop down and go south, and I'm gonna show you what's on my desk. So let me get things created. There we go. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? See my pretties? Okay. This here is size 20 thread. Okay. This here is a basic, everybody does it motif. Okay. It is what they call a generic pattern. Anybody that does this pattern, they cannot copyright. Okay. It's a generic pattern. You can't copyright generic patterns because they're for educational purposes only. So, for that reason, there's no copyright on this. All right. So, you can do whatever you want with it. Now, this is size 20. This is the same motif in size 40. Okay. I'm going to show you how it gets swallowed up, gobbled up on that. You see the difference. It's a huge difference from 20 to 40. Remember, the larger the number, the smaller the thread. Everybody write that down in your notes. The larger the number, the smaller the thread. Okay? So now, size 3 tatting thread. Even though that number is a 3, it is a huge piece of thread. Yes, they are still available. These are all handy hands threads, every bit of it. This one here is handy hands. Now 80, I didn't want y'all to have to get a magnifier to see the 80 on film, okay? But I will show you what 80 looks like. Mind you, this is a doily, and if I did this doily in size 20, it would be about the same size as the one we're looking at. This one's done in 80, okay? So that gives you an idea of how small you can go. This doily, if I did it in the size 20, would come out to about this big, okay? So remember, when you're dealing with size and you want something bigger, go bigger with the thread. You want it dainty and small, small thread. It's not going to hurt either way because these are the same stitch counts from here, from 40 to 20 to 3. Same stitch counts, and it all works. However, when you get up into the 3, okay, this center part's going to start doing what they say, cupping. That's what it's going to do because there's not enough stitches to compensate for how big the thread is. And you can see if I turn it sideways, let me show you. Can you see that it's cupping there? Now see it? I'm going to put my hand. See how the center of it's bowed out? That's cupping. A small little bit of cupping, you can pull on it enough to stretch it out and make it lay flat. But if it's really like a literal cup, yeah, you're not going to straighten that out. You're going to have to modify a pattern, make it work according to the size thread you're using. Okay? So I'm going to sit here while y'all write this stuff down because it's very important for future reference. When you change thread size from the available pattern you have, if they're using a 20 and you go all the way up to a 3, you're going to have to adjust that pattern as it gets bigger because it's going to really cup up in the center. Okay? If you're going down in size, you have to adjust the pattern because then it's going to be too loosey-goosey. And all that shows. Okay? So make sure when you're tatting and you're first starting out, you're using the cheap thread. Aunt Lydia's, any kind of cheap will do. All right? You use your cheaper threads just to size the first couple of rounds. Okay? To see till you get used to it. As you get more professed in your tatting, you're going to know which one you've got to change and which one you don't. You'll know what will cup and what won't. You can adjust picots to settle down cupping. If you're using really close picots on your joints, loosen them up a little bigger. It will give you the necessary, you know, spacing in order for it to lay flat. All your tatting should lay flat unless it's three-dimensional. Okay? When it gets into the three-dimensional, then you want it to cup. You want it to stick out in places like it's supposed to. But normal tatting lays flat. Okay? Now, next question that comes along is how do you tell front side from back side? We're going to get there. Let me show you how this works. Let me go back and get the camera. Yeah. Ready? want you to look at the caps. This one shows it really well. We call these waistbands. We call the double stitch a pair of pants because when you look at a double stitch, you've got 2 legs. I'm gonna try to block that off. You've got 2 legs and you got a waistband, and it comes out to be a pair of pants. So all your waistbands on the front side should be on top, okay? Write that down. All waistbands should be on top. You don't wear your pants upside down. That's what we call them, pants. As you get progressed, they're commonly called amongst advanced tatters cap, and that's the correct way to call it. Okay. Now, to tell the back, same deal. We're looking for the waistband. Okay. You don't have a waistband on that picot. This is the best way to tell which side is the front and which side is the back. Whether you're tatting in traditional, which is you're never, doing all front side, or you're doing front side, back side. The way to tell is the caps, and it'll always be the picots that show it, okay? Now, if you were doing traditional tatting, rings would be the only thing that had caps on the top. Your chains would look like this on the front side, okay? Everybody got that? Give me a thumbs up and let me know y'all didn't fall asleep. Just anybody give me a let me know everybody's still here and I haven't left the country. I don't fly. All right, Anna, thank you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, so we know what the front side and the back side is supposed to look like. Now, I want you to tat up a sample using today's pattern, which is this. This is our pattern, okay? And you're going to write it down exactly how I tell you to write it. I'm not going to write it for you. You need to write it to remember how to read a pattern, okay? And there's several different ways that you have to read patterns, okay? We're gonna get into that in a much later class, probably next week. All right? So, we're gonna write this pattern down. I mean, it's gonna blow your mind. It is so simple. You had trouble signing in? I'm sorry. Um, but it's a simple pattern. So really, it's not write it down. Okay. This pattern is the same pattern here. The difference is center picot is a joining picot, so I made it a very small picot, and then I put in an extra 3 stitches, okay, to give me 5 picots, and it's 3 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 3, whereas this is 6 picot 6, okay? So, think about that. Now, why would I make this one 6 picot 6 and this one all these picots, 3 double stitches between them, right? Well, it's so I could have a joining picot and I got the pretty lacy effect. Okay. Picots is what gives you that billowy, beautiful texture to your piece. Again, let me show you this one. Look at all them picots. Tell me those picots don't make this piece stand out and say hello. Okay. It does. And if you leave them out, all you got is these straight lines, but the choice is yours. This is what it looks like without all those picots, and this is what it looks like with all the picots. See how the picots can make your piece or change it. That choice is up to you, okay? So when you're working on your masterpiece, you pick and choose your picots, how you're gonna separate them, the whole fine yards. But remember, you must leave a joining picot between your rounds because you're gonna have something to join to. If you forget to add a picot, remember a double stitch is only a picot that hasn't sewed up yet. Okay, so with that, we're gonna get into this piece because this piece is what we're tatting up today. This one right here. I'm going to show this on shuttle as well as needle. And you're going to learn a ring, a chain, your picot, and you're also going to learn continuous thread method and a bonus technique of folded join because most patterns that are in the round like this has a folded join as the last join. So you need to know it. And it's so simple to do. So with that in mind and that in thought, let's get all of our goodies out so that we can do what we need to do. Let me get I've got to pull out me a crochet hook. Let me see what I got. What have I got? What have I got? I got all these little hooks in here. How you work. All right. I got everything in a special place so I can just grab it. Now, first one we're going to look at is we're going to do the needle version of this pattern. Now, this pattern, ready? Our rings are, got your pen, your paper, write this down. They are 3 picot. It's a joining picot, therefore it will be a small picot. So put VSP 3. Then we have a decorative picot. Just put picot or P. 3. Joining picot, VSP, and 3. I want you all to say that back to me. One of you write it down. Anna, can you put that in the chat for me for the ring? I would, but my keyboard's off right now. I can show you on here. It's 3 VSP for very small picot, 3 picot, 3 VSP for very small picot, 3. You know, y'all get that. Somebody, anybody, write that in the chat. You did it too many times. 3 vapor, 3 picot cap. Okay, Teresa. No, it's 3 V as in Victor, S is in Sam, P is in Paul. 3 P, big P, big P, big. Okay. 3 V is in Victor, S is in Sam, P is in Paul. 3. I shall pull out my keyboard and I'll write it down. You got it. You got it, Carmen. You got it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Carmen's got it. Carol got it. Teresa got it. All right, we're on a roll. I don't know what to do. Okay, that is our ring. Now our chain will be 6 picot 6. Who's my volunteer to put that up? Right, Anna. Now in between the ring and the chain, you've got a reverse work. Now I'm going to show you all that. You do have reverse work with both shuttle and needle. Okay? It's not turn, it's reverse. Because when you reverse your work, tatting, top becomes bottom, bottom becomes top, and it places everything in the direct line that it needs to be. Okay? Yeah, I'm teaching y'all a lot today. Now, this is the piece that I was working on. Now I'm going to show you how to close this up. This is where we're going to come into the throne, not throne ring, folded ring. Okay? I'm going to show you how to do that on the blue. Clear all of these goodies off of my desk so that we can go from there to this. This is my needle. This is a size 5 needle, and I am putting size 3 thread on that needle. You cannot put size 3 thread on a size 7 needle because it will eat your thread up. Okay? You can, I'm not doing it today. You can run glue on your fingers, run your thread through the glue, and bring that thread to a point. It'll help save the end on these larger threads from fraying. Okay? The smaller threads, you don't have as much problem with that, but the larger threads you do. Take a bit of glue and just run it up through there, seal it up, just let it down, let it dry, and it'll be stiff. Okay? But today, class, we're not doing that. I got this handy dandy do it all needle thread handy cams. I'm telling you guys, I'm loving it. It is really a fantastic needle thread, and it's priced right. When you're working with needles and this large thread, you need something that can withstand a tough pull and actually give you something to pull on in there. Well, I guess we won't get my midget scissors here. I gotta cut it. It was frayed already. I didn't even see it. I'm blind. I'm blind. Put it in there and work it down just enough to get it through. Now, ready. Watch this. Check it out. How fast was that? It went through without a problem. Now, you want to tail that up. I don't want to lose it. You want a tail for your needle tatters. You want your tail to be at least 12 to 16 inches long. Okay? Because it's going to take every bit of that to do this. What I'm going to show you is just how to do the first ring, chain, and second ring. So you know how to join. All right? Needle tatters, you've got it made in the shape. When you're needle tatting, you can use your needle for crochet hooks. Therefore, you don't need a crochet hook. But what you do is you thread your needle at your tail. You leave a loop. Okay? Put your finger on the end of that loop. Pull it outside. Okay? Remember, all this thread you've got is going to go through. Okay? So, first half of that double stitch. Ready? Finger out. Like that is left. This is the right. You go over, under to the back side, under, over to the front side. Backwards. I said it backwards, folks. Go ahead, you can smack me for it. I got a frog. And we should go somewhere besides here. All right, that's our first double stitch. We're gonna put in our second double stitch, and we're gonna put in our third double stitch. Now, here is where we come into our joining picot, our very first joining picot. Now, I don't use a picot gauge with my needle tatting. The reason I don't is I can pretty much gauge it by eye, okay? And you will too. For you needle tatters, you will too. When you first start doing this, yeah, it's gonna be wonky. That's okay. It's lessons learned and practice. That's all this is. So we've got 3 very small picot, 3. Now we're putting in our decorative picot. We want that a little bigger. So we'll pull that down, pull that one down, and we pull it over. See? There's our decorative picot. Now this is size 3 thread. If I was using smaller thread, that picot would be smaller. Okay? I'm gonna do this slow so y'all can see me put my stitches on. Now here we go. We've got 3 joining picot, 3, the decorative picot, and 3. Now we've got another joining picot. Okay, so let's put that in. That's 1, 2, and 3. Now before we close our ring, what do? We check and make sure everything's on there like it's supposed to be. Even when you're shuttle tatting, you want to check your counts. Don't close that ring until you've checked your counts. Make sure everything is in place, because once you close it, that's where aggravation starts. Okay, but I want no aggravation on this first one. Now, to close this, first of all, I got to get that tail back through. What you're going to do, tighten up your stitches right here. Make sure all your waistbands are facing nice. Grab it, and I stick my 2 fingers in. Why? Because you want to hold that in place. What better way to hold it in place than to stick your fingers in there? Now, what I do is I pull my needle through, lay it down, then I find out which one goes to that tail. And I pull that tail through like that, slow. That way it gets the twist out. You caught that, right? I just eliminated the twist in that tail. Now, run our needle up through that loop. Pull out our fingers. Don't let that loop off that needle. Grab our ring and put it in our hand, and we're going to close it. Okay? Pull it tight, like we do in shuttle tatting. We pull it tight till we have it closed. The next thing you have to do as needle tatters is tie your shoelace trick knot. Now I'm going to tell you something. Everybody that sees me tie my knot doesn't understand why I'm tying it weird and backwards from what Handy Hands does and everybody else does. Well, I'm eliminating a step the way I do it. All right? You see how I've got it? My ring is face up. I've got the thread going to the needle here. I've got my thread going to the ball here. I run my needle backwards up through there, pull it through. After I pull it through, I reverse work on my ring, pull it down. What it does when I do that is it lays that knot flat at the base of that ring and it doesn't show. Every time you close a ring or a chain, you have to tie that knot, that half shoelace string. It's the first half of tying your shoes is what it is. So when you do that, it can leave a little humpty if you don't work it to where it lays flat. So what I do, and it looks like I'm turning it, I'm not. I'm reversing it and then pulling the knot down. In reverse work, top becomes bottom, bottom becomes top. And that's where I laid that knot right in there. Okay? Now, we're going to lay our needle on the top, or no, excuse me, we're working on the back side, and we're doing traditional tatting on this, okay? Now, first thing we're gonna do is the first half of a double stitch, pull it down. Second half, pull it down. First, second, first, second. Now we've got 3 double stitches on there. Just boom, Bob's your uncle, we got it. Put 3 more on. 1, 2, and 3. I know I'm getting close to the end of my needle, and that's fine. Pull it down. We're gonna put a picot in. Now, if you're doing the 3 picot, 3 picot, 3, that's fine. Every 3 stitches, put a picot in, okay? 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alrighty. Now, you're gonna pull it through. We don't need our finger in the loop because we're not making a ring, we're making a chain. So just hold our tatting steady, pull it through, lay our needle down, find that tail thread and pull it first. That will stop this from giving you fits. Okay, pull it, shape our chain the way it's supposed to be. Okay, make sure it's laying. All your caps are right, your stitches are in. Pull it down on our finger, hook it however you want. Again, come from the middle finger forward. Now watch. We're going to make the top the bottom and the bottom the top. You see what happens? That's why I pull it down on the needle first. On the chain, I do this first. The ring is the only one I worry about laying it flat because what this does, and if you look at it real close, it presents a double stitch. And this goes inside this last stitch. I got that? That's how you do needle tack. This is basic needle tack. We haven't got into the fun stuff yet. Now we're gonna reverse our work, get everything laid out here. This is the way we were. It was all laying like that, reverse our work. My needle thread is on top, my ball thread is on bottom. Now we're gonna work that next ring, okay? Make sure we've got our loop. Place the needle on top right here beside that ball thread, okay? And we're gonna put a first double stitch in. Move that out of the way. We're gonna do 3 double stitches. I swear I think I'm getting laryngitis already. It'll work itself out. Now, I'm gonna show you how to use your needle as a crochet hook. What I do is I put it on there, slide that down, and go through that picot, grab my thread, work it back through. Remember, don't let go of your thread, and then pull it up. It's on our needle. It's ready to rock and roll, although it did split the ply. All right, now we've got it on there. Put in our next double stitch. 1, 2, 3. Pull off some thread. Now we've got a decorative picot to put in. Put our decorative picot in. And you see how I'm keeping tension? That keeps it from being so loosey-goosey. It's just a habit, okay? Y'all can develop that habit. It'll help you. It'll save you in the long run. Just wrap it around your finger and keep your tension on your thread. That's all you gotta do. And as you're going, you're pulling that tension. See it? Now we've got to put in another picot. It's a decorative. No, it's a joining picot, so it has to be a tiny one. That's 1, 2, 3. Ready to close that ring. Remember, here is our loop. Goes from here to the tail. Put our fingers in there, tighten our tatting up, and pull that needle through. Keep the tatting in the pinch. Once the needle is through, up for your tail, pull your tail through. Gets it out of the way and keeps it from getting tangled up inside. The inside part is called the core. Okay? Gonna close that ring, keep it in our pinch, close it. Now, again, we're going to tie our knot. We're gonna put our needle up through. Now, ready? Pull it down, and we're going to reverse our work and tie it in. There it goes. That's it. So that is how you start this pattern. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to close that. All right? So we're going to need our blue thread, our pretty blue thread. And we're down to the last ring on this. Okay? So we're going to thread our needle right there. We got it. Pull this off some. We don't need that much. Now, guess it would help if I took my little tape off of this. This is Hugo's tape. You can get it from Amazon. And it's a tape. It sticks on itself. You stretch it and sticks on itself, and it'll hold whatever you want to hold. We use it for everything. I ain't gonna lie to you. It holds power cords, things like that. Whatever you want to put it on. I'm trying to get it, Pam. It's just aggravating. It's the weather. It's just driving me insane. The weather is. I'm going from sinuses because it's hot to freezing time for pneumonia. All right, now we're going to put in this last little ring. We got our ring, our thread in, our loop is ready, everything's ready. We just got to do our tie. All right, we're going to put in the first stitch. That's 1, 2, 3. We got to join to that last ring right here. We're going to run our needle through there, and we are going to pull our thread back through. If you keep that tight, it should pull back through. Don't drop it. If it drops, go back and get it. You can use a crochet hook if you need to. If you don't like fiddling with it, I'd rather do this than fiddle with a crochet hook because it puts it right on my needle. See where it needs to be. Then I can go and get the rest of my stitches put on. That was a twisted one. It had a little twisty in it. Now, if this bottom part gets in your way, put it behind. Okay? We've got 2. There's 3. Got a decorative picot going on here, folks. We got her. She's in there. We put in 2 more double stitches. Now, guess what? We have to join this to this. Now, the way we're going to do this, where is our crochet hook? We're going to use our crochet hook. Go down through here. You grab this thread off the needle, pull that up right through your loop. Make sure you get all those threads. Lift it up and put it on your needle. Don't do anything until you get that excess thread worked in. Now put on your last 3 double stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now close your ring. That's how you do the join on needle. Shuttle, it's a folded join. You have to fold your work over. Because we're doing this on needle, It's not so bad. And did I just do what I think I did? I sure did. Get back over. I didn't grab that. Get back over. But the chain stopped it. Isn't that cool? That is cool. Run your needle up through your loop. I didn't. Go ahead, smack my hands. But you see it's cupped. So what we have to do normally, okay, is go in here and adjust our stitches. But you can see how it's cupping. It is loosey-goosey enough that we can lay it down, stretch things out, make it lay right, do our thing, okay? And then you just go ahead and move on and do your last chain. And when you go to join, because it's needle tatting, drop your needle down through there where the ring and the chain meet. Drop your needle down through there, pull it through the back side and tie a knot. That's all you got to do. Easy peasy on needle. It's just as easy on shuttle. Now, we'll put this over here. I'm going to put the needle up because now we're going to get to the shuttle part. If I can keep my voice going for another, 20 minutes will be fine. Now for this part, this is what we're going to do. That's for our folded joint. We're going to start you on shuttle. I'm going to show you how to do the ring and the chain, mainly the ring. And you'll see the reverse work in action healthily in this. First thing, we're going to wrap our hand in a loom. This is a loom. This is not a loop. It's a loom. Rings are rings, not loops. Okay? Now, you take your thread. This is the pinch. Put it in the pinch. Take the pinch forward around your hand, completely around your hand. You see that? Bring it back up to the pinch. All right? That's how you wrap your loom. This pattern calls for continuous thread method. This is continuous thread from shuttle to ball. There's no breaks in this thread. Now, as you are progressed, if it calls for, okay, Plaid, you can watch the rest tonight. That'll be fine. If it calls for continuous thread method and it starts with ring, and my advice is do the continuous thread. It'll save you a lot of headaches. If it doesn't, then you can use there would be a knot here. Okay. So you can do it either way. But if it's a ring you're starting off with, and it's going to be in the center of something, and it has to be precise, and it says continuous thread, do continuous thread. Now, I just put 2 double stitches on. Now, for you beginners, here's what you do. You go over the hand. See how I did that? I just grabbed that thread off that shuttle around them 2 fingers, and you're going under that thread, through, over that thread, through. And when I went like this, you notice I didn't release that tension yet. I did though. It was so slight, you didn't see it. I'm gonna show you that again. Ready? Roll it on our hand, go under, over. Okay? You need this knot to transfer to this thread. Loosen your tension just a little. Once you loosen it and pull this shuttle tight, it flips that stitch. Show you. The second half is under, through the loop. Ready? Release that tension, pull your shuttle tight. You just flip that stitch just as pretty as the day is long, and you have 3 double stitches. Now, we're gonna put in a picot. This is a tiny picot. What I like to do is stick my little tip in there. If you don't have a tip, as you get progressed, you will know how much you need. We're gonna put in 3 more double stitches. Okay? So we're doing a decorative picot. Normally, we would be using our picot gauges, but today There's our decorative picot. We're gonna put in our 3 double stitches. So this is number 2, number 3. We're gonna need more thread. If you pull on this thread on the bottom side and thread comes off your shuttle, you did it right. If you pull your thread, let me show you that again. This bottom thread right here, if you pull it, and that shuttle moves, you're okay. If the shuttle doesn't move, you've got a locked stitch that did not slip. Go back and check your stitches, okay? You will get used to this. I have videos up on the channel for you guys to watch on how to do this, and you can play it as slow as you wanna play it, okay? Now we're putting in another joining picot, and we're putting in 2 more double stitches after the picot. We gotta have a total of 3. So 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna close the ring. Next thing you're gonna do is pull the ring loom off your hand. You're gonna take your shuttle and you're gonna post it through that ring loom. Close it, and you pull it down. Now we don't have to tie this off. We don't have to do anything, but we have to reverse our work. Top, bottom, bottom becomes top, and we're gonna wrap our chain loom. That's this. Goes around the middle finger, around your ring finger, and around your pinky. That gives you the tension you need. Your tension on shuttle is kept in the same location as it is in the needle, right here. Without the tension right there, you go nowhere, okay? If you will look, all our picots have no waistbands. You got it right. So we're gonna put in our first double stitch. Again, we're doing tradition, first half and second half. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Now we got a decorative picot. For you guys doing the 3 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 3, you will have another picot between here and here. Okay. But we're doing the pattern that I'm showing. Okay. I'm not doing that. I'm doing this one. All right. So we're going to put our decorative picot in, close it, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we are ready to move on to our next 3. We do not have to tie a knot. We're shuttle tatters. We do not have to tie a knot. When you reverse your work and go back to the original side, you're going to see it looks like you got an extra half stitch. You don't. It's because this is traditional tatting. There's no right side. There's no wrong side. The way you tell it is the right side is by your ring. You'll have your waistbands on your, okay? So now you know how to do this. The joining is basically the same. Here is your problem child. You have to join. Let me get some thread off because I'm going to need it. You have to join from, well, get a hold here, this ring to this ring. Okay. We've got 5 rings here. We've got a chain to put in here, and then we're going to move into our ring. Let's do that. Our work is reversed. We're going to wrap our hand for our chain and do our chain loom. And is this, no, this is traditional or is it, this is front side? Okay, we're going to put in front side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got a picot to put in here. We're going to go 1, get back over there. 1, 2, 3, Slide that over, make sure the picot's in place. 4, 5, 6. Did I just do what I think I did? I did it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it. Now, we're ready to start our ring. We're going to wrap our hand with our loom. So we're going to put in 3 double stitches. That's 1, 2, 3. Got all 3. We're going to join right here. Go through, grab it, pull it up. Loop it on our finger. Why? We don't want this to twist. Pull it down. We're going to do 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Now, move this out of our way so we don't tangle up on it, okay? We're going to put our decorative picot in and 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. We got our 3 double stitches, slide it over. Now, here is where we have to join to right here. In order to achieve that, you have to fold your work over like this. And the front side of your work has to lay up next to this thread. So you want to give yourself plenty of room to work. What I do is I open it up. I let the twist get out because at this point, you don't want a lot of twist in this thread. If it does twist up, you're never going to get that ring closed. You're going to pull your hair out. You're going to beat the wall up. It's just not going to be pretty. It's just not. So what you will have, and it will look like this. You've got your work folded. The front of your work is next to this thread going around your loom. Let me move that out of the way so you can see. It's next to this. You take your crochet hook. You go front to back. Twist. Grab your thread. Twist it back just enough to pull that thread through. Loop that thread on your finger. Why? You don't want it to twist. Now you ready? Here's the fun part. You're going to shuttle thread. Open it up. You walk that into place. What this does is it prevents you from twisting the picot on this ring. Because if you join this like you would normally, like we did on the other side, this picot will twist over on itself and it will create a knot. You don't want that. So you use the folded joint and then you bring it in, bring it down, put it in place, and you put in your last 3 double stitches. 2 and 3. Now, take your loom off. Again, drop your shuttle down through that. You're going to post it and close your ring. You notice I'm not taking my ring out of the pinch. As you get professed in tatting, you can feel it close. And you will feel when it is closed. Okay? That's your muscle memory. Now, you will finish it out by taking a chain from here to here. Okay? And that will be your completed motif. That is your start of our project. Okay? So let me switch the camera. Let's see how lost you all are. Don't worry, you got it. You really do. You've got it. Now let's give me a big swig. That's what I needed. Now, any questions? Y'all think you can do this? Your homework is make this. That's your homework. You can use whatever size thread. You can put as many picots on this chain as you want. You cannot add picots to your ring. It will confuse you at this point. Just do it on the chain because you've got to be able to join things to your chain so that you can come in and you can either, let me get this smaller one. You can either start an outer round, okay, or you can join them and make something like this, okay? And it makes a cute little dolly. And it's a, you got a last minute gift here that doesn't take long, okay? So that is your homework. Next week, when we come back, the next things you're going to learn are adding new thread, because you're going to need to know that. Reading a pattern, posting a shuttle was an extra bonus. That was on next week. And the shoelace trick you learned because of the needle part. The self-closing mock ring, I showed that on needle. You also have it for shuttle. So next week we will learn that. That will be a new one. Reading patterns will be new. Adding thread will be new. You see? You see how everything mingles together. On one motif, you've learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 techniques. One little motif. And see, before they broke this down, and you just had, till the next class, you had rings. That's all you had was rings. Now, you can have an all ring pattern, okay, and do bare thread. We'll get into that in the advanced part because I feel that is like more for advanced people because it takes a lot of measuring to get it right. Otherwise, everything gets off kilter. Okay? So, with that said, if there's no questions, your homework tonight is to make those little motifs. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. You're going to do this one. See, I have all these colored motifs. You see them? What I made first was colored motifs. Made them all up. I had a slew of these. I gave them to Cat Days for the fair, I think it was. Y'all used them for the fair, didn't you? Anyway, then I came back with the white and I took the white around one color. Then I added the other color as I came around, okay, like this. I did this one. I worked here all the way around. Well, when I got here, I had another color that shared with this one. So I had to bring the color in here. Okay. This is where you're planning. For this one, it's 5 picots on the chain. Okay. When you run into 2 rings side by side, you've got to do the folded join. It doesn't matter if it's a split ring. Doesn't matter if it's a regular ring. It doesn't matter the ring. If there's 2 rings side by side, you're gonna have to do the folded joint or it will twist it. Do one on just a sample piece to see what I'm talking about, because it will literally twist that picot like this, like somebody took a fork to it or something. Yeah, Monica, you will need practice, and that's what I say. You can make this motif a dozen times, and you can add it in as you go. That's what makes this pattern so desirable, okay, is because you make this yeah, there's a few mistakes in it, but you gotta make this one, this one, this one, this one. You're gonna make 6 more to go around it. Now, this pretty one in the center with 6 around makes a mug rug. you I've got a piece of fabric. You put it I'm gonna do it on the back. I'm gonna move it. You put it on there, just this with the 6 pieces. You have a mug rug, the same. It's the same stitch count as today's class. The chain is 3 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 3. It's 5 picots separated by 3 double stitches. That's it. I can't tell y'all what that. Yes, 3 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 3 picot, 3. Okay? I'll show you. It's 3 picot, 3 picot, 3 adjoining picot, okay? 3 picot, 3 picot. The rings are the same count. 3 picot, 3 picot. It's adjoining picot. 3 picot, 3 picot, and so forth. Okay? You have a decorative picot on your rings on the sides and at the top. And you have 2 joining picots. You have 5 picots on the chains. That's the only difference. You've got to have 3 double stitches between your picots. And that's a generic pattern. It's what you do with generic counts that makes a new pattern. Is this a pattern? It could be. Could I copyright it? I could copyright it. Do I want to? No, because this is a teaching tool for you all. Okay. We'll have a copyright class soon. Not today. Today is not a copyright day. Today we want to get set up for fun. Now, next week I will have 5 techniques ready for you to learn for your next round. If you're doing the I'm learning doily, okay? If you're doing the I'm learning doily, where each round is what you learn, then we'll have 5 techniques. That's 5 more rounds to add to your doily because each round is 1 technique. Okay? Now, if you don't wanna do that, say you wanna do this, make it so big, and then come in with a different technique, it's doable. So what you're learning here is how to take something so simple, make something really pretty, okay? And you're also learning design, basic design, and that's where everybody learns design. They figure it out. No, I don't speak French. I'm the only teacher I got. But if you want it translated into French, when you do the replay, you go into settings. YouTube's now doing, closed captioning in any language. They're doing the translation. We're not. So, I'm not responsible. You can also use AI. AI will do it too. That's my understanding. So, with that said, if there's no more questions, thank you. But remember, Nanny, it you don't need to understand what I'm saying as much as what I'm doing. I'm not gonna show you the wrong way, I'm gonna show you the right way, and if I have a mistake, I will show you how to back out of that mistake, and it will happen to you. I'm just saying it will happen to you. So I show mistakes and all. I'm human. So you're welcome, Melinda. Thank you. Any more questions, folks? If not, we're going to call it a class, and I will see you on Thursday. And we're doing this pretty puppy. See it? See it? See it? See that? I'll take it. I'll show it to y'all. This is a pattern that Iwa don't Wassily, I cannot say her last name. Did. Okay. And it's one of her free patterns. That's what we're going to do on Thursday. Okay. You all are going to have so much fun. This is a beginner pattern. It's Sophie. I got permission. It is a beginner pattern, and we're going to do this in class on Thursday. So, with that said, I wish you all a good couple of days, and I'll see you on Thursday. Until then, may all your threads make beautiful lace. All right. Happy tatting, everyone. I'll see you on Thursday. Bye bye.